Hey everyone, welcome back again. It's Deck Away with my channel, Tech Odyssey. And today I'm following up from my unboxing video of the new BLU Life One X3. I did the unboxing video the other day. This is the full review. So after looking at all the stuff that's inside the box, the sticker, the documentation that came with it, we're going to dive deeper into it and take a look at the specs. I'm going to run through the phone, show you the camera, some of the other cool stuff that's on it. So let me just start off. I'll go ahead and lay out the rest of the specs for you. It is running a octa-core processor. It's the MediaTek 6753. It's clocked at 1.3 gigahertz. It's got a Mali T720 GPU for the graphics. It's got two 13 megapixel cameras, so it's got one on the front with the LED flash, and then it's got the other 13 megapixel on the rear, which is the main shooter, with an LED flash as well. Now, it does have a 5.5 inch full HD display, meaning that it's 1920 by 1080 resolution, which is good, especially in a budget tier device. You can get this for $149 on Amazon right now, which is a good deal. Normally it's $249. The display is Corning Gorilla Glass 3, and it's got a curved glass display, so around the edges, here I'll show you, it's got a slight curvature to it. So it's rounded off, you can see right there. So it helps out with the aesthetics and the form factor a little bit. It does have the fingerprint sensor on the front. It operates as a soft home button. It's not like the Vivo 8 where you can push in on it. This one you just touch. It is got 3 gigs of internal RAM in it. It has 32 gigs of internal storage, which is expandable up to a 64 gig SD card, which is standard for BLU. And it has a non-removable 5,000 milliamp battery, which is pretty impressive because if you look at the form factor on this, and as far as weight-wise, it's coming in at 182 grams, which is not a whole lot. It's less than half a pound, well, a third of a pound really. You got your buttons over here, your volume rocker, your power button, but it's really pretty thin. It's really amazing to me that they were able to get a 5,000 milliamp battery into this phone, and 5,000 milliamps is just ridiculous. Even like the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus is only rocking, I think it's like 3,200 milliamps. The previous BLU devices, they're rocking 4,000. So 5,000, especially with this 1.3 gigahertz octa-core processor, is a beast. So it's also got 5 volt 2 amp QuickCharge, which is good. It'll get you recharged in no time. And then Bluetooth 4.0 and the rest of the standard stuff. And it's still running micro USB 2.0. And here you got your dual downward firing speakers, which are pretty much the same as the ones on the Vivo 8. All right, so now that I've talked you to death, go ahead and fire this up. I've already got it on. So here's the fingerprint sensor right here. Move the box out of the way. It's already registered with my fingerprint, so ta-da. You can see how fast it works. This is to open it from wake or from standby. So it's not too bad. It's not as zippy as some of the other phones like an iPhone or like the Pixel 2. There are some that are pretty quick whenever it comes to unlocking, but this is it's very reasonable, especially for the price. Now it is running a pretty much stock version of Android 7.0 Nougat, which I like. So I'm going to try and swipe from the right here. You can see there's not a whole lot that's installed on it. Now it's got the app drawer, which is great. But even if you go in here, look, what is that? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 20. 29 apps. I don't like doing math in public, but there's not a whole lot of stuff that's installed in here other than the basic stuff. So very happy with that. Not taking up a lot of space, not sucking up the RAM, and use our soft home button there. Now, if you swipe to the right, you'll get to the Google Assistant, which is I really like. It's a really good integrated feature that they have. Before, and I mentioned this, I'm not a huge fan of the virtual assistants, but Google's is probably my favorite. I did like Bixby with the Samsung. It was kind of cool, but the best one that I found so far is the Google one. And even if you talk, of course, if it doesn't know it, it's going to look straight up on Google, which is where you go to search everything anyway. So it's got your Google Suite here. So you got straight up Google, the Mail, Maps, YouTube, Google Drive, all the fancy stuff there, Google Photos. Really, they didn't do a whole lot to it. It's not really skinned at all. So if you swipe down from the top, you get your quick menu setting, all your different wonderful options here. And then you can go to the regular settings there. So take a look at that real quick. Not a whole lot in here. It does have BLU privacy, which you can turn this off to not help improve BLU products, enhance device support, that stuff. Basically, it's just their fancy version of sending feedback. And of course, if you want the more general options, you can swipe from the left anytime you're in the settings here. So we'll go back. So memory right now we're using 1 gig of the 2.8 gigs with nothing running in the background, which is really good as far as memory management goes. All right, so that's it for the settings. I'm gonna go into the camera here real quick. Now the camera is just a whole bundle of surprises. It's really nice. I'll show you the shutter speed here real quick. Go ahead and take a picture. So that's with the flash, without the flash. So there we go. Took quite a few pictures, but you can see the shutter speed is really quick. It's very responsive as far as taking pictures, which is one thing that I really like in a camera. I mean, most phones nowadays have around a 12 or 13 megapixel camera. So, I mean, it's all about the sensor and the other internals that go along with it. But 13 megapixels is great. I mean, you're going to get the full resolution on here when you look on your phone, and you're going to be able to have a nice size photo whenever you're looking at it on your computer as well. So, really, it's a pretty optimum. That's why they stopped putting all the massive cameras in there. You don't really need a 20 megapixel camera, especially when most of the time you're looking at it on your phone anyway. So, you got 3 settings up here. If you want to turn around and take a selfie, you hit this button right here. So you got that, which you can see it flipped around pretty quick. This is your flash, off, auto, and then always on. Now there's 2 things you can do. So you got the button here that shows the 4 circles. You can click on that, and that's cool. Or you can just swipe from the left, and it'll get you the same thing. Now, this is for regular camera mode. You get your HDR pictures. This one is so you can scan QR codes, which is actually pretty cool. If you're ever wondering, sometimes you get in your camera and you see a QR code and you're like, I don't know how to take a picture of it. So you can go straight in your camera for that. And then last but not least, you have panoramic mode. Now, if you swipe to the right, that's where you get all the other cool features. I'll swipe to the left. So this is how you set up all the internal features and the enhancements for your photos. So you can turn GPS on or off straight from here, so you can embed it into your picture, so if somebody looks at it later, they can be like, oh, he took it from his house. You get your exposure setting, scene mode, white balance, image properties, anti-flicker, volume keys, which you can set that up. You can use it to shoot pictures with, which is cool, so you're not always having to reach down for the shutter button. Shutter sound on and off, which is convenient, especially whenever you don't want everyone hearing it, make all the noises. 0 shutter delay, anti-shake, face detection, auto scene detection. You can shoot in RAW, which I think that's the first time I've seen one of these on a blue phone. I could be wrong, but that's really nice, especially if you like to edit video and pictures and all that good stuff. Self-timer, so you can set the timer if you want to try and set it up for doing some sort of a group photo or selfie away from the phone. Picture size, you can adjust that, so you can downsize it if you don't want to send a gigantic photo. So 1 to 9 megapixel range. Preview size, which is nice. ISO. Electronic image stabilization for video settings, which is nice. Take out some of that shakiness when you're doing your videos. You can turn the microphone on and off for video, also audio mode and video quality, which it doesn't tell you exactly what it is, but fine is for the 1080p at 30 frames per second, and then it goes down from there. So you can look that up. I don't have those memorized off the top of my head, but that's where you adjust the size and the resolution settings, also for frames per second. So I'll go ahead and take a few more pictures here real quick. And it works really well. I like the camera a lot. And the quality is good. I mean, it's pretty sharp. Especially, I didn't do any autofocus stuff. I didn't tap on the screen. It is a little bit blurred out in the back there. It's focused on the picture here up front. I mean, it's, all in all, I think it takes pretty darn good pictures, especially for 150 bucks. So, some of the editing functions, you can go in here and you can edit it. You can do your different filter stuff for the pictures. So auto, west, the stuff to try and make it look fancy. And then you can adjust the light, the color, pop, and of course crop it. So if you like to edit video on the fly, make memes, which is the cool thing to do nowadays, or send stuff out to your friends, all the cool stuff's in here. So that's about all I have as far as the review on the phone. Now, initial impressions, I really like it a lot. There's a lot of features and functionality that are built into it that you don't typically see in a $150 phone. You will see here, there's a lot of fingerprints on there. I took that base screen protector it had off. I haven't installed the other one yet. So the screen protector is not going to be as bad, but as far as getting fingerprints on the screen, that's something that you're going to have to deal with if you don't put a screen protector on it. On the back, not so much. It's really not that big of a deal. But all in all, good solid phone, especially at the sale price right now. I wholeheartedly recommend it at 150 bucks. At 250 bucks, you might want to bump up and get like the Vivo 8, maybe the Vivo 8L, especially if you're really into selfies, you're really into Snapchat, you're into things like that. But you're going to do just fine with this at $150. I really don't think you can beat it, especially if you look at stuff like the Motorola E4. I think this is in a whole nother class. So highly recommend it. If you want, take a look down in the comments section. I'll put a link to my full review that I wrote up that's on Android Central with the community review team. So you can look at that there and balance it out with the video. Also take a look at the unboxing video. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Share, subscribe, tell your friends. If there's anything you'd like to see, if you have any questions, always let me know. I always have my phone on me and I try to get to them on the fly as quickly as possible. So thanks for tuning in again and have a great day.